Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for my client Emma's vlog, and this is by far the longest running vlog series. We now have her recovery improved, her lifestyle's back on point, so we should be back to making some pretty decent progress. She just got a 1 pound PR on that football bar bench, which she always says that one's the hardest one for her because the bar just wants to dump, and I'm like, yep, I know. It's a difficult bar to work with. But that's what we do on Conjugate. We need to do some awkward, difficult lifts in there for our maxes. So I've increased her volume slightly now that she's got food, sleep, recovery, and everything back where we want it. I've increased her training volume, so you're going to see a little more exercises in here. So on max effort upper day, she did a floor press and she's doing dumbbell bench press. All right, so we're doing 2 separate chest presses. For 3 sets of each one, so we're getting quite a bit more volume than we have been getting for her. So then afterwards, she is doing chin-ups because she likes them, likes the biceps. She's like, every time I take the chin-ups out, my biceps shrink. All right, so we'll let her do the chins. You know, I don't think they should be used super often, my opinion, but younger lifters can get away with it longer. It's the supine position stuff that I'm talking about with that, though, by the way. All right, and then she does upright rows for her shoulders, which in her case, we just do one big exercise for her shoulders. I'm not having her do a whole lot of different laterals and things, because, again, I've got her pressing volume and stuff pretty high, so I think we're good there. It's enough to keep her delts and shoulders, just entire shoulder structure growing. And then, of course, we finish with the band press downs, which, again, a lot of my lifters, I like to do long phases of these, and you guys know why. It's about building tendon health. It's an active recovery method for the tendons, helps build thicker, healthier tendons, better blood flow to them around the elbow, and it can build some tricep. All right, deficit deadlift. She's like, I did not get a PR. She's like, it was close, but no. So then I'm having her rotate in some goblet squats because we run into some issues where if the split squat volume goes too high, she starts to get some hip inflammation. And I really want her to build the musculature for her squats a little bit more. I feel like her deadlifts are outpacing her squats. And I like to use this as an assistance, a very easy to recover from assistance and accessory exercise for the squat because it can really improve mobility in our hips while still putting substantial amounts of muscle on our lower body. All right, so afterwards, of course, she does glute ham raises, reverse hypers, and hanging leg raises. Again, some stuff I'd like to end a lot of people's workouts on if they have access, and she has access to the equipment. So her and Louie have this stuff, so we might as well use it. It's the same with goblet squats and things. Some of my people with home gyms only have barbells and they have no dumbbells. But she's got those Bowflex dumbbells, so we can definitely do some goblet squats there. So we see all that, then we see the reverse hypers, and this gives us pretty complete lower body development. Is it slightly more posterior chain biased? Yes, of course, but that's okay. We always want that little bit of posterior chain bias, right? Because most people walk into lifting too anterior dominant, and women in particular tend to be interior dominant. And that's what people call it. Let me call it what Louis Simmons actually calls it. It's called a weak posterior chain. Let's quit talking about dominance. Let's just talk about weaknesses. So in other words, there's usually a posterior side weakness there. It's normal, particularly in a lot of athletes, actually, anyone who's done a lot of sprinting and jumping because of the quads being used, lack of hamstring. Of course, then we do the hanging leg raises, which most of you know that I like these quite a bit. I do them in large volumes in some phases myself. In other phases, I kind of take them out, just because I get tired of doing them, quite frankly. But I'm always going to be a fan of them. I program them often. All right, after that, we go to her dynamic effort upper day. Her speed bench is the same. We always keep it. We do 3 sets wide, medium, and close. I just normally have her do the straight bar for it. Eventually, we could rotate this out, but it works well for her, and it works well for most people. And, to change it up, I would either have to change rep schemes or change her barbell since she doesn't have chains. All right, afterwards we're doing dumbbell presses. Again, we want to bring those pecs up a little bit. She needs a little more chest, I think, on her benching. We went through some phases where we worked triceps a lot more. Her triceps got bigger and stronger. I do feel like at this point she needs a little more chest for the bench. So we need to work on bringing the pecs up, and this does it. We're doing these on both of the days. So there's a lot of chest pressing right now in her routine, a lot of it. And there's actually a lot of squatting in her routine, technically, with the goblet squats are going to be on both lower days, which you guys will notice on this one. Of course, I talked to her about the form, and she corrected it, which we'll discuss when we get there. But so then we do chin-ups, do some upright rows, and then we do the high rep band press downs for the tendons. But, if you look at this, it's a pretty complete upper body development. Even if we pull the speed benching out, we got dumbbell presses, chin-ups, upright rows, band press downs. Everything's getting worked, right? Everything's getting worked with at least a minimum effective volume. So we're good to go. We are good to go there. And again, you have to factor in that the speed bench itself has training volume. All right, dynamic lower day, her staple. And again, I need to change some of this up eventually, but I'll wait till she's well into the groove on this current phase of getting back to how she was. So, yeah, we do speed boxes with a safety bar and bands. Of course, I rotate sumo and conventional deadlift for her pulling, but today I'm having her do conventional against bands. All right, then we get over to the good morning with a safety bar. Again, this is a beast. This is an exercise that will bring up your squat and your deadlift both, and it can help both of them substantially, not only in terms of strength, but also in terms of injury prevention. And I really like pairing good mornings with the reverse hyper, because we really get a 1-2 punch there. Because even people who talk about, well, you're creating so much fatigue in the low back with the good mornings, well, the reverse hypers will help us with the restoration of that. So again, valuable to pair these two together. All right, then she does some more goblet squats. I'm trying to get her to keep that dumbbell line closer to her chest, keep her hands up higher, so it doesn't drift out in front of her as hard. And it's going to do that anyways. That's kind of the point. But you're trying to minimize the dumbbell getting out in front of you, or kettlebell, or whatever it is that you're using to do these with. Some people even do them with plates. All right. After that, you guys know what's coming. We have glute ham raises. Again, arguably one of the best, if not the best, hamstring exercise. And I don't like that idea of something of saying that, hey, this is the best exercise for a muscle. I don't like that. And in general, I think it's kind of a ridiculous concept. But in this case, it's possibly close to being true. Okay. And then afterwards, we finish up with some reverse hypers and hanging leg raises. And I'll let you guys watch those as you finish up. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.